Mr. Foley, the new major school reform bill calls for the development of an evaluation system that includes student progress, among other factors, in measuring the performance of teachers and school principals. How big a role should student progress play in the teacher evaluations, and how much should those evaluations factor into decisions on matters regarding pay or promotion?
Listen, I think this is one of the keys to improving our underperforming schools. We need I proposed in my plan a statewide longitudinal data system so we can track not only student progress but teacher progress related to student performance. So we have many excellent teachers in Connecticut, as everyone knows. The key to our school system and improving our schools is excellent teachers and supporting them. But we also have some who don't perform as well as others, and we need to make sure that we have a system that rewards teachers for performance, both in pay and promotion, that doesn't merely promote people for the amount of time that they've spent on the job. But this is going to require a comprehensive data collection system. I don't think student performance obviously should be the exclusive measure of performance for teachers, but it's an important measure. And I think anybody who's resisting measuring the teacher performance related to the students they're teaching is against progress, frankly. And I know that the union leadership is against this. I know that my opponent, Daniel, here was in front of the teachers' unions and supporting the status quo as is, which included the tenure system and not introducing performance pay. So I certainly hope, I think this is a key to progress, and I certainly support it.
Mr. Malloy.
I want to be very clear that I think student performance is vitally important in measuring whether we're making success as a school system, as an individual school, or in an individual classroom. The real question is what role does it play? We have some models emerging in New Haven, for instance, on a negotiated basis between AFT, representing the teachers in New Haven, and the system, coming to an agreement that they will, in fact, take a very serious look at student achievement as one of the measurements. I think that's the kind of progress we have to make. I mean, after all, we have many different contracts with teachers organizations on a system-by-system basis. What we need is leadership. What we need is a governor willing to be an education governor, to actually stake a claim to being measured by the results that are achieved over a 4-year period or 8-year period of time. So do I think achievement is important? Of course I do, because I know that teachers are the #1 factor in whether a young person will have a good school year. I know that the #2 factor is the strength of the management teams, particularly the principal at a school. So we need multifaceted measurements that allow us to gauge whether a teacher is doing what they need to do in a classroom. But I'll also tell you what else we need. We need to build a better mentoring system. We need a better intervention system. We need a more active supervision of teachers in our schools on a mentoring basis and, quite frankly, to make sure that school systems are doing what the law currently requires and sitting in and watching how that teacher performs. Let's use the tools we have. Let's develop additional tools. Let's do it on a cooperative basis. You know, this is not I'm for reform or I'm for teachers. You can be for reform and for teachers at the same time.
Mr. Marsh.
I think we need to take a moment and realize the question that's just been asked. Should student performance be a part of teacher evaluation? Why are we at a point where we would even have to ask that question? Are we implying that the performance of our children should not be a part of the evaluation of those that we are charged to teach them? I think that shows just how far we've gone from the intention of what education is and where we need to be. Nationally, 1 in 57 doctors is removed from their profession because of performance. Lawyers, it's about 1 in 100. Teachers, it's about 1 in 2,500. That, to me, signifies we have a problem with the way we perform our evaluations. But in fairness to the teaching profession, and as has been mentioned, we have some very, very good teachers out there. We can't only expect the teaching profession to provide the results for our children. You know, I think Mr. Malloy mentioned that teachers are the #1 influence in outcomes. I disagree with that. Parents are the #1 influence. If we don't start bringing family and community into the involvement of the education of our system, if we don't stop using our education system as the dumping ground for our social programs and our social ills, we're never going to be where we want to be, no matter how laudable the goals of our education system may be. So absolutely, student performance has to be a part of our evaluation process. But we can't leave them out there alone. It's administrative performance, community performance, parental performance, and personal performance, the expectation of the child to do well.